Myoglobinuria. Ito yung nagpa-present as a myoglobin in the urine, usually associated na may rhabdomyolysis or yung muscle destruction. Myoglobin is present in muscle cells as a reserve of oxygen. Urine from person with rhabdomyolysis showing the characteristic na brown discoloration as a result of myoglobinuria. Myoglobin is a low molecular weight heme protein found in muscle. It is released from damaged myocells into the plasma. It is also quickly cleared through the glomerulus where it is either reabsorbed by renal tubules or excreted in the urine. It also will cause a positive blood or urine dipstick. Myoglobin may be clinically detectable as a red-brown or chocolate-brown discoloration of the urine. Itong discoloration na to can be differentiated from that caused by hemoglobin by spectrographic examination or with the use of ortholewidin paper strips. And the hematuria is the presence of blood urine or yung tinatawag natin na red blood cell dun sa urine. An anatomic framework is helpful in developing the comprehensive differential diagnosis. Blood or red blood cells can enter or nagmimix siya sa urine natin at multiple anatomic sites. In-include nito yung urinary system, the female reproduction system, tsaka yung integumentary system. Hematuria may not be accompanied by pain. Yung painful hematuria can be caused a number of disorders. In-include yung sa infections and stones in the urinary tract. Yung painless hematuria naman can also be due to many causes including cancer. And the sickle cell trait as describes a condition in which the person has one abnormal allele of the hemoglobin beta gene or yung tinatawag na heterozygous. It does not display the severe symptoms of sickle cell because it is a trait, which means it is inherited. In the case of SCT or sickle cell trait, the person has inherited one abnormal hemoglobin gene from one parent and one normal gene from the other. It is blood disorder wherein there is a single amino acid substitution in the hemoglobin protein in the red blood cells that carries oxygen from our body. Which causes these cells to assume a sickle shape, especially when under low oxygen tension. It is not regarded as a disease state because it has complication related to polymerization or deoxyhemoglobin S.
Renal medulla is the inner part of the kidney. Nahahati ito sa ilang bahagi na tinatawag nating renal pyramid. The renal medulla is responsible for maintaining the balance of salt and water in our blood. Sa pamamagitan ng pagsala nito sa mga waste materials at pag-eliminate ng fluid sa katawan, ito yung nagiging urine. Parts of kidney are the renal cortex, renal medulla, and renal pelvis. Renal cortex is the outer part, while the renal medulla is the inner part. Last, tonic-clonic, also known as grand mal seizure. This seizure is involved both tonic or stiffening and clonic is twitching of muscle and jerking muscles. Meaning, maninigas ang katawan ng isang tao pagtapos walang control ang pagsisisure. Katulad nito ang epilepsy.
Hi sir, so yung amin po, what we found out about dun sa mga binigay niyo po sa amin is sickle cell trait it's a trait po na hereditary siya, mostly from African descent. So, para siyang sickle cell disease, kaya lang asymptomatic siya. Sickle cell disease is very symptomatic. There are a lot of symptoms na makikita mo agad once you got it. And there are actually tests for newborn babies for this. This is one of the things na kinukuha nila. But sickle cell trait, you can actually go on and have a normal life without knowing that you have it because you're asymptomatic. So, yung hemoglobin type niya is HbAs. So, the red blood cell do not sickle. Hindi siya nagsisickle for most part. Rarely lang siya nangyayari under extreme conditions. So, normal yung hemoglobin niya, tapos meron siyang abnormal hemoglobin na nasa isang body lang. Tapos, ang tawag sa kanya, incomplete dominance of the abnormal hemoglobin. And then, yung sickling ng blood, ng red blood cell niya, only happens kapag low oxygen concentration na, such as renal medulla. Kapag nagkakaroon siya ng renal medulla, yung kidney niya is nag-fail na, doon lang siya nagiging sickle. So, doon lang siya nagiging symptomatic. Kaya yung the only clinical symptoms na makukuha mo sa trait na to is microscopic hematuria, which is microscopic nga siya. So, yung pasyente, hindi niya makikita to under the naked eye. Makikita lang siya under the microscope. And something called hypostenuria, which means less strength or less concentration. And inability to concentrate urine because the renal medulla is now suffering because the cells are sickling. Under these extreme conditions, yung exertional rhabdomyolysis po niya happens na nagiging cause ng myoglobinuria para mag-occur siya. Yung rhabdomyolysis po, yung po yung galing sa bones natin na pag nadidistract sila, naglalabas sila ng ganito. Tapos, ito yung nagkikarry ng oxygen sa bones. So, kapag ganito po yung nangyayari, nagkakaroon ng myoglobinuria sa katawan natin, kaya nalalaman natin na meron tayo nito. Pero, this rarely happens. Hindi siya madalas mangyari. Tapos, yung acute renal failure niya po sa renal medulla niya, dahil sa rhabdomyolysis, pag nag-exert sila masyado ng katawan nila, most of this happens kapag nag-exert sila due exercises, pag nagbubuhat sila ng mabigat. Tapos, kapag extreme siya, due to yung kidney failure niya, due to rhabdomyolysis, it can cause seizures po. Yun na po yung tonic-clonic seizures. Yung tonic po, I believe, it means stiff ka lang or rigid lang yung katawan mo when you're having seizures. And clonic means you have twitching, jerking, and everything. And then, yung renal, nag-a-arise po yung seizure sa renal failures niya kapag due to toxins, accumulations, tsaka yung complications ng sepsis or etc. And then, kapag tinitreat po to, the choice of medications remains linked to the seizure type. So, kailangan pong malaman yung type ng seizure, pero most of the time, it's tonic-clonic seizures para malaman nila kung paano yung gagamitin. So, there's no known treatment for this kasi hindi siya sakit. It's just a trait. It's just a recessive gene na nagkaroon ng incomplete dominance sa katawan ng tao. Mostly from African. And one thing that I've learned about this is you can be immune to malaria when you have this trait. Has something to do with the red blood cell. So, yun po yung napag-aralan namin about this. And